Welcome to SLN TV News English. My name is Yasmin Saeed and I'm here to update you with the daily news. These are the stories making headlines. Danish delegation arrives at ENG International Airport. Somaliland Custodial Corps provide orphans with a gift. President calls for peace in Venezuela. A delegation of officials from Denmark arrived in the capital city of Somaliland, Hargeisa, to discuss livestock-related issues. The delegation was welcomed at ENG International Airport by the Minister of Livestock, Dr. Abdi Dahir. The delegation consisted of several high-profile officials, including the ambassador to the Horn of African countries based in Nairobi. The ambassador was accompanied by officials from international development agencies working towards the improvement and sustenance of Somaliland's livestock. The spokesman for the delegation, Mr. Mojian, gave a brief speech in the VIP room of the airport. He outlined that the delegation will meet with several high-profile officials from the government of Somaliland with the objective of discussing the development of Somaliland's livestock sector. The spokesman for the delegation stated,
"We are from the Danish Council for Development Policy. We are here to learn about the progress of Somaliland, economically, politically and socially. And we look very much forward to our visit because we consider a stable and successful Somaliland a very important element."
The Minister of Livestock also spoke at the event. He said, "This delegation consists of a minimum of 20 people, all from the Danish Council for Development Policy. Their main objective is to visit and analyse Somaliland's livestock sector. The delegation is very interested in the trade of our livestock, as livestock is the largest source of income for Somaliland. The Danish Council for Development Policy has been working for some time with the Ministry of Livestock and the transportation of livestock to allow for economic injection which maintains Somaliland's standard of living." The Somaliland Custodial Forces presented Somaliland's orphan house with necessities created by prison inmates. The General of Somaliland Custodial Corps, Mohamed Hussein Hiraneh, presented the director of the Hargeisa orphanage beds made by the inmates of Hargeisa Central Prison to facilitate reintegration and educational programs being implemented in Somaliland. The General of the Corps said this program is not solely based on the charitable aspect, but of the inmates who have learned to make these beds and once they have completed their sentences will revert from a life of crime and have attained the skills to work for themselves. The director of Hargeisa Orphanage, Asha Hassan, expressed her gratitude to the General for his generous contribution and the work he is doing with the inmates. She stated, "The needs for these beds is immense and could not have come at a more suitable time, and we are very grateful." The director also explained that this was not the first time Hargeisa Orphanage was assisted by the Somaliland Custodial Corps. Mrs. Hassan said, "Without Somaliland's Custodial Corps, Hargeisa Orphanage would cease to exist." Also at the event, a member of the juvenile inmates responsible for the creation of the beds, he outlined the large difference in his attitude and skills prior to his incarceration. He also expressed his gratitude to Somaliland's justice system for not giving up on him after he committed crimes, however having faith in him and providing him with the skills he can use to avoid criminal activities to make a living. A one-day training seminar was held on improving the skill set of teachers in Somaliland. The training session was held by Bidit International University and its purpose was teaching secondary school teachers how to instill a quality education in their students. The chairman of Bidit International University, Mubarak Ibrahim Ar, stated that he believes secondary school teachers are the teachers with the most effect on their students. They are the ones able to teach lasting knowledge and skills and the importance of education. The chairman stated, "This is a one-day training session for secondary school teachers. When discussing education, I believe that three things are of the utmost importance: the teacher, the student, and the root. If all three are working in the most effective way, then a student with a lasting education, a satisfied teacher, and a working feasible route are all created. But the university is a university which focuses solely on providing quality education for their students. But the university focuses on producing a student with the best practical skills, the best theoretical skills, and the highest quality education as a whole." You're still tuned into the English news programme on Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news programme, and now for our international headlines in detail. Turkey's president signs a new law giving government more power over judiciary system. Turkish President Abdullah Gül signed into effect a new bill giving the government greater control over the judiciary on Wednesday. Gül said he asked for 15 anti-constitutional points in the bill to be corrected before final approval. The main opposition Republican People's Party says it will renew its application to make the new law void. Critics say it weakens the judicial independence. Protests in Ankara and Istanbul have already broken out over the government corruption. Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan is embroiled in a scandal which is alleged tape recordings revealing him asking his son to disburse of vast amounts of illegal cash. Gül has already seen the approval of the law tightening up the control of the internet. Critics claim this is a crackdown on freedom of speech and dissent and a knee-jerk response to the ongoing corruption probe. Venezuela's president calls for national peace conference as protests continue. Venezuela's president Maduro has called for a national conference for peace to end the protests. His opponents have refused to join in. The wife of jailed opposition leader Leopoldo Lopez said people would continue to demonstrate about the state of the economy and the high levels of violence. People feel they are imprisoned in their houses. They are afraid of going out with their children, or that their children go out at night. We can't find food in the grocery stores. There are shortages, said Leon Tintorilli. Another opposition leader, Enrique Capriles, accused Maduro of being out of touch with the public. What is the peace conference about? He wants to invite people, sit them down, speak about peace, put some music on, and then solve the problem? He has no idea. On Wednesday, hundreds of farmers and members of indigenous groups marched through the streets of Caracas in support of President Maduro. Frosty reception for Ukraine's new Prime Minister-designate in Maidan. The unveiling of Ukraine's new government nominees received a mixed reception on Maidan on Wednesday. Mr. Yatsenyuk was presented as Prime Minister-designate and promptly received a chorus of boos. Unbothered, he said, "There isn't a single oligarch or anyone who's worked in the Yanukovych government all looking for political credit in this new government. We've never had a government like this in our history, and I can tell you the destiny of this cabinet of ministers. They are like political kamikazes. The citizens of Maidan don't want a return of the old guard. They want to see a government that reflects the political will they fought for. Many are determined to press for change until they're satisfied. The crowds are well aware the country's future course has changed. Now they want it to be in the right direction. With the overthrow of Moscow-backed Viktor Yanukovych, Russia suspended all payments under a trade alliance between the two countries. Ukraine needs 25 billion euros to stay afloat until the end of 2015. Brussels is working on options to cover the shortfall. That's all the news we have for you today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.